What began as one man's passion led to a family-ran agribusiness meeting the needs for fish locally, across the state, and even internationally. So 1953.
Correct.
Is when this officially got started. But how? How did your dad decide, hey, I'm gonna raise fish?
My dad was pretty much ahead of his time, and a lot of it stems from when he was a kid. He grew up in Pettis County, up in the Sedalia area. Poor farm boy, and basically World War II, entered the military, in the Navy, and after the war was over, he went back to school at WashU in St. Louis, and then also went to school at Oregon State University and got a fisheries degree there. And
just because he was passionate about it, loved to fish?
My dad, he did everything. Came down here and started with these 3 ponds, these 2, and that one's been filled in, and a little shack. This was a gravel road. There were 3 families that lived down this road, and now there's probably 1,500 condominiums and $1 million homes down our lake road, and it grew from there.
So going back to 1953, what was his original goals? Who did he want to sell to? Was he producing catfish just then?
No, actually the business all began with supplying bait fish to the small resorts down here. And things kind of changed from there, and he started to expand on down this valley with other ponds and getting into other native fish. There's sports fish, bass, bluegill, catfish, and that went on and started stocking people's private lakes, and then got into the development of what we were talking about earlier, these fish sales at feed stores, and that used to be a huge part of our business.
So you've grown up here?
I have. I had a 5-year hiatus in Springfield going to college, but
I think we all transitioned like
that. Oh yeah. I had never intended to come back to the farming operation. I'd had it. I didn't see that being part of my life, and went to work for a big faceless corporation. Wasn't treated very well, and I said, hell, I can go back to the farm and be treated like this. So,
yeah.
But I owed it to my brothers. I mean, they've worked this business all their lives, and now I have too.
So fast forward to 2020.
Yep.
You've got a lot more ponds than the 3 behind us.
Sure.
So what do we have back here now?
Well, this is a recirculation lake for the hatchery building here. And what we have in this unit right now, and I hope they feed, are some hybrid striped bass that are being held for an aquarium that's being built in New Jersey, which is another part of our business that we've been expanded into and we've been in for many, many years.
So let's see if they're hungry.
Yeah, let's see if they, usually they like to hear a truck drive around, but maybe we'll get lucky. Oh, come on. There we go.
So what size and age of fish are we looking at
These
here?
fish will be probably a 3-year-old age class. These fish were actually purchased from a friend of ours that specializes in hybrid striped bass. This is not a fish that we raise, but these probably about 3 years old, and they'll run about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds each.
You mentioned these were headed to an aquarium. That's
Correct.
a whole other side of the business.
Correct. Yeah,
Explain
we supply, I would say, the majority of the fish for some of the larger municipality aquariums, private aquariums throughout the country that do like Missouri and Mississippi Valley river exhibits. We've had quite a few aquariums this year. We supplied a lot of those fish, those indigenous fish, to the new aquarium in St. Louis. We have another big one, the Mississippi Aquarium, that's coming online this year. And then we have several other ones with Merlin Entertainment that we're currently doing.
So how does that customization of fish raising work? You know, do they call you? What's the time frame? And how far are you sending fish?
Way
over there.
That was a paddlefish. That was a paddlefish.
Oh, okay.
That was just breached the water there. So, well, we raise, like I said, Mississippi and Missouri Valley fish. So we raise about 32 different species. Many years ago, my dad got a lot of these species listed on the approved species list for aquaculture in the state of Missouri through the Conservation Department. So we're kind of a custom shop for state, federal agencies, even private high-end clients that want a specific fish or trophy fish. But I mean, we ship them all over the world.
when you're raising or breeding fish for research versus fish for aquariums or for farm ponds,
Sure.
What's the difference? And I understand that you're having to have your hands on every single fish to get continuity.
Sure, that's exactly right. These fish in particular are on a closed well system, so it's secure. They're in a back system. They're fed a specific diet that the clients want us to feed, and before they're shipped. And they have to. The clients actually want, like these fish here that are going to Germany, they're sexed. You know, the females and males are sexed, so they have breeding pairs immediately when they get to their facility, so they can start up their projects. Some other species that we sell for research purposes, like common carp, bluegill sunfish. We had a shipment go to the UK last week, and they were 2.5 centimeter fish. They couldn't, and with a tolerance on either side of that of 2 millimeters. So you have to know what you're looking for, and you have to be very careful. You know, picking out basically clones. You know, they have to be so close because some of these research projects, they only give them enough material to test on small fish, and those small fish have to be exactly alike.
The tanks are set up, you know, per type of fish, but the water quality, is the pH different, or talking about
these
requirements?
are on a well system. So these fish have been isolated, and they're kept on the well system to keep away from any possible contamination. And again, they're fed a specific diet. These are big head carp, which unfortunately they've gotten a bad name. Their cousin is the silver carp that you'll occasionally see, I guess not occasionally, see jumping in the river system that they're trying to eradicate. Federal agencies ask us to produce these for them so that they can learn how to eradicate these fish.
I did not realize.
There's not something that we grow intentionally. I mean, we have brood fish and are allowed to have these brood fish
for
that purposes. They serve no commercial value to us at all. The only reason these fish are in, and you can see a very heavily screened so they can't get out. The only reason these are being held is they're going to go to a federal client, and they have to be a certain size and very stable before they can go to their system.
Now, we have some unusual creatures to me that you wouldn't really see in fish ponds.
Yes.
And these are headed to aquariums?
Yes, these are American eel, and again, they're being staged to go to an aquarium on the East Coast.
So, talking about the difference in raising these 32 different varieties.
These are actually
these
are outsourced.
Outsourced.
These are outsourced.
You're just holding them.
Yeah.
But the amount of research and knowledge base, trial and error over the years, you and your family.
Yeah, that's it. And my dad always used to say, if you're not learning something every day,
not working hard.
It's not working hard. Yeah, you're basically you're not a farmer.
You talk about this farm is the original farm, but you have farms on the other side near Bagnell Dam.
Yeah, we have 2 other farms in below Bagnell Dam. Both of them are about 120 acres in water each, 120 acres of water each, and they're impoundments. And of course, you do some polyculturing in them, and then other units are specifically for certain species that we raise them.
We talk a lot about relationships.
It means everything to us.
Yeah.
To me, it's business is business, but to me, in the fish business, you have clients that will trust you and hopefully come back to you. We have some very, very high-end clients. We're very fortunate to have them. And basically, I don't like the one-shot deal. I don't like saying, here's your deal, we'll sell you the fish. To us, it's a relationship. A lot of the clients that we have, again, are old-time clients.
They keep coming back.
We're very fortunate. Very fortunate.